What's up everybody, Coach Hudson here, and in this video we're going to talk about 5 tips to help you with your clean technique. I'm making this video because last week we posted a video on 5 tips for your snatch technique and it got a lot of love. I had a lot of messages asking for a clean video, so here we are. You're welcome. Let me know down below in the comments what exercise you want me to break down next, as well as drop a like if you enjoyed this video. So getting right into tip number 1, and tip number 1 is making sure we have a proper starting position. A proper starting position for the clean or the snatch is where our shoulders are higher than our hips and our hips are higher than our knees. So to give you a visual of that, when I get set up, I'm in between a squat and a deadlift position. So from here, you can see that my knees are at the lowest point, then it goes my hips, then it goes my shoulders. What I see a lot of people do make the mistake of is having their torso pointed down so they're in a deadlift like this, or they're too far down so they're in a squat like this. And what that does is, if I'm in a deadlift position, I'm using pretty much just hamstrings to pick up that weight off the floor. If I'm in a squat position, I'm using just quads to pick that weight up off the floor. So we want to set ourselves up in between those two positions to allow us to use both sides of our legs. That way we're using our entire legs to help us pull that weight off of the floor. So again, when I get set up, it goes knees, then hips, then shoulders. Depending on your anatomy, depending on how tall you are, short you are, how long your limbs are or how not long they are, your mobility, past injuries will change that starting position a little bit. However, that is the general rule of thumb we're trying to accomplish across everyone's starting position. It goes knees, then hips, then shoulders. A little bit of play in that position is okay, but that's what we're trying to achieve. Tip number 2 is pull the bar to the shoulders. What I mean by this is we want to reach that full hip extension, reach that strong big pull, and then once I'm ready to get underneath that bar, I don't want that bar to keep going up and then come down on my shoulders. I want that bar to go up as high as I can and then pull it straight to my shoulders. I want 0 time of that bar going down onto me. I want that bar to come onto my shoulders as quickly as I can, and then I absorb it into a dip if I'm doing a power clean or a squat if I'm doing a full clean. So to give you a visual of that mistake, people get set up, they have a really big, strong pull, and they go, boom, and then that bar comes down, and it's more likely to crash on their shoulders and leave them really crazy bruises, cause them to ricochet and maybe miss the lift or do other funky things, jam their wrists and things like that. So we don't want that to happen. What we want to do instead is when I get set up, I have a nice big leg drive and extension, nice big arm pull it straight to my shoulders, and then stand nice and tall. That is our second tip. For our third tip, which kind of ties into tip number 2, is having a speedy turnover. For the speedy turnover, we don't want to just have ourselves pull really hard on that bar really fast and then kind of take our time getting underneath it and then rolling our elbows up. I see this happen a lot with new weightlifters, especially new weightlifters in CrossFit, and this can lead to a lot of problems down the road if you let this be a habit in your clean technique. So to show you the fault, a lot of people will come up, they do a big leg drive, big arm pull, and they go, ugh, and their elbows are way down here, and then last second they roll them up to finish. We want to get those elbows pointed straight out in front as quick as we possibly can. So as soon as I've had that big fast hip pop, that big fast arm pull, the speed doesn't stop there. We then want to have a speedy turn underneath that bar to help us absorb it into the front rack as quickly as we can, have a nice strong front rack position, and set us up for success if we have to do a full squat and not have ourselves be rounded up like this, where we're more likely to dump that bar out in front of us. So every single time, it's fast hips, fast arms, fast turnover. How quick can I get that bar onto my shoulders with my elbows pointed straight out in front? Now for tip number 4, and this is extending straight up and down. I see this happen so many times for a lot of people, and it's a very common habit for people to build where they jump back slightly for a clean and it causes them to miss the rep. So whether they're doing a power clean or a full clean, aka a squat clean, I see them pull that bar up, they extend, and they kind of extend a little too far back to where now when they leave the floor, they jump back slightly. This isn't a big issue all the time. However, if you're going for really heavy lifts, the jump back tends to get bigger and bigger for a lot of people, causing them to fail the rep. So we don't want to obviously catch the bar with our legs and our hips way back here, because unless you have a really strong back, it's gonna be hard to hold the weight here, which is why most people fail the rep. So what I recommend doing is getting set up in your position with your feet underneath the bar. Have a friend, or you can yourself, draw a straight line with a piece of chalk in front of you and a straight line with a piece of chalk behind you, and your goal is to not have your feet go outside of those lines. Obviously, we can have our feet jump out and in, but we don't want our feet jumping forward or back. We want to put all of our power from our body going straight up into the air and then coming straight back down to give that bar the most ideal path possible. So I'll draw that line on the floor. If I see myself look down and I jump back from where I started, okay, I need to make sure I don't jump back. I practice again until I get the idea of going straight up and then straight down without my feet going astray forward or back. Now, for tip number 5, this one is implemented for a full clean, aka a squat clean, and that is drive up into the bar. This is very, very crucial when it comes to any weight that's above like 60 to 70% for you, because I see a lot of people fail reps that they should have very easily made because they didn't create tension going up into the bar. So the mistake is they set up, they keep that bar close, big leg drive, big arm pull, then they let the bar push down on them and they're collapsing with the bar and they miss it out in front. I'm pretty sure you've seen this happen many a times. People should have very easily gotten the lift, but they didn't. So every single time when I've had that big arm pull, that speedy turnover, my goal here is to now drive up into that bar. I don't want that bar to just jam me down into that squat really fast. I want to create tension through my upper body by pressing my shoulders up into the bar, keeping my core tight, and having tension in my body as I go down into the squat. Even though we can use the very bottom of the squat as a stretch reflex to help us stay tight and stand up really fast, if we end up dropping down a little too fast by letting that bar just push down on us and have ourselves not driving up into the bar, if I get down to this position, I'm very unlikely to hit that lift. So every single time I go to clean that bar, I have my shoulders pressed up into it, I'm very smooth going down, and I want to make sure that I set myself up in a really tight bottom squat position, so that way I'm able to use my legs, keep my core tight, and get up out of that squat as quickly as I can. So those are my 5 clean tips. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like. Check out the other videos on my channel talking about cleans, snatches, and a wide variety of other exercises. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.